Well, our boardroom now, we used to have board meetings on surfboards out in the ocean. And we have one picture of all 5 of the kids and the two founders out on surfboards out in the ocean. And we came up at the beach and had our picture taken. And we call that a board meeting. But a boardroom now is 201 Redondo in Redondo Beach. It has about 100 surfboards up on the ceiling, stacked on beams up there, because if you didn't have them there, you couldn't talk in that room. And we have surfboards all around the place. And the two surfboards that have my brother's memorial on. And then we have a great big round table. It was actually a thing that they roll wire up on, a big cable wire. It's huge. It's probably 7 or 8, 9 feet in diameter. And then has a checkerboard and a chessboard in the center. And it's a round table, and we have all the chairs around it. And that's our round table boardroom now. We're pretty casual, though, about the whole thing. Well, the mission of Body Glove is to build the best products in the world. And we've always did that. Like, we don't manufacture anything. We got out of the manufacturing business a few years ago. We had 300 employees. And we were having a hard time manufacturing things in the United States because people really didn't care whether it was built in China or the United States. Years ago, people would pay $50 more for a wetsuit built in America than it would in China. Nowadays, they don't really care, and that's kind of discouraging. But we just couldn't operate because of all the environmental problems you have in manufacturing wetsuits. So we're the last ones to probably go to Thailand to build our wetsuits. We have a complete factory over there now. And all we do is license people to build our products. We have total control over everything we build. If we don't like it, they don't build it. They better not build it. And I've been over to Thailand. It was just huge. They have huge factories over there, and it's a great, big, huge thing. And one shop I went into, I took a trip up the Northern California coast, and I visited 65 dive shops and surf shops in 25 days. And one shop said, well, you're not technical enough. I said, technical? We were the ones that started this thing. You know, we were ones that had the first wetsuit on the market, and everybody has copied our wetsuits. Our measurement chart, they even copied it. They didn't even copy it. They just put a blank over dive and surf and put their name there and copied my measuring chart. And we were the first ones to do a lot of things in the business, and we've been ahead of everybody. We even had somebody in our plant selling our designs to other people, and we had to get rid of them. But our mission is to make a good living for everybody and work hard, be honest, give them a good product that they pay for, and give our licensees and the ability to do the same in their business. We're like a family. We consider people family, and they're really close to us. Like we don't do too much anymore because I'm 70. I'll be 78 in July. My wife will be 75 in July. And in April, can't remember her birthday, but we used to have all the parties at our house. We have a house next door to our house, which we call the party house, and we can set about 35 people in the front room and the dining room, and we have huge parties there. We've had parties with 250 people there, but we always entertain the licensees when they come to town. We take them for a boat ride on my 72-foot boat, and then we take them to our house, and we do all the cooking and of the food. People say, well, why don't you cater to somebody? Well, we like to do the cooking, and we like to prepare the food, and I think it shows that you care more about people when you actually serve them food that you cook. That's the way I feel about it. Well, I think we were first in the business, and everybody has copied us. That's kind of a thing that you're proud of because you're good enough to be copied, you know. We've got a great staff of people in the design department and the advertising and things like that, and we strive to do a better job than anybody else. We haven't become as big as we should have because we pretty much operated with our own thing. My brother and I borrowed money and got the business going. A lot of people went public with their company and went on the market, so they had a tremendous amount more money than we did. We've kind of we made progress every year. We haven't made this great big jump and then a great big fall. We made progress every year. The only 2 years that I can remember that we had really had some problems in our business was when they had a county ordinance in Los Angeles. They had a couple of diving desks, and it just threw the whole thing into a loop. They tried to do a county ordinance. They made it so that more than 100,000 certified divers in Los Angeles County couldn't go diving. Cousteau couldn't even go diving. I couldn't go diving. My instructor's number is 1 in the world, and I couldn't even go diving. L.A. County put in an ordinance that you couldn't dive unless you'd been recently certified. And you could if you had been recertified, but they didn't have a recertification program. So we got that ordinance killed. And then the other big thing was when Jaws came out. It just destroyed our business. I mean, it was really tough. There was just nothing going on. And early in our career, we found out that you had to diversify. So we went into boats. We were the largest Boston Whaler boat dealer in the world. We sold a lot of Johnson Motors, and we sold a lot of rubber boats, little bitty rubber boats. And we went into water ski, and we went into snowboarding at one time a little bit, because we did build some snowboard clothing and stuff. And so we completely diversified in our business. You have to. And then we went into clothing, which was a big deal. Dive shop just by itself, you know, you have the kids come in, they want to buy diving gear. What are you going to sell the parents? If you have some good-looking shirts and stuff, that's a sale that you can make there. So you got to do associated sales all the time. Well, a guy named Hugh Bradner invented the first wetsuit for the Navy. And then Bev Morgan, my partner, had seen this. He'd been at Scripps for a while when he was living in La Jolla, and he'd met a few people there, and they said, so he started investigating it. So he found some rubber material at American Latex in Los Angeles, and that's where we used to buy the material from. And we could never find any material that was soft enough and stretchy enough for surfers. Divers can tolerate it because they don't move their arms hardly at all. You dive this way. You're not swimming with your arms, you're swimming with your legs, and they don't bend that much, so you don't get, under here you get chafed if you're a surfer, and the material was really tough, you know. And so my brother went back to Bedford, Virginia, where they make Rubatex material, and he walked through the plant for 2 or 3 days back there. It was huge. And he found some material called R231, and it was, at that time, they made gaskets for Pontiac station wagon tail lights out of it. And he said, this is the material I brought out, and it fits this way, and it fits this way, and so that's what we started using. That kind of revolutionized it for surfing. I think it was the biggest thing that ever happened in surfing, because instead of spending 5 minutes in the water like I used to do at Pleasure Point in Santa Cruz, and then build a fire or get in your car and get heated up, we'd spend about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes on some days, and then you'd climb back in your car and try to get warm. You can spend 5 hours in the water now with a wetsuit on. I surfed there by car light at night. That's how bad I was at surfing.